Hi, this is Dominic from Paphos Life, and in today's film I'm driving through the villages that have been affected by yesterday's fire. It's still going on in places, but it seems to be under control now. So we're just heading down from Kallepeia to Letymbou. There's the Polemi junction on the left, and you can see there's quite a lot of smoke in the Akoursos valley, and you can also see a couple of plumes indicating that there's a fire still in progress at those places. Now we're in Letymbou itself, and I'm pleased to say that that was untouched by the fire as far as I'm aware. It's a lovely village to visit as well. Coming up to the Letymbou tavern just on the right here. It wasn't open because it was about 7:30 when I filmed this. Now this is encouraging to me on the drive. We just passed a bus, and the fact that there was a bus there means that the road through Lemona at least is now open, because otherwise the bus wouldn't be able to go through it. But now we're heading down into the Akoursos valley, and you can see the extent of the fire damage now and all the smoke. It's quite a shame because it's full of nature. The valley is a beautiful place. Just crossing the floor of the valley now. There were a couple of ambulances down here, but they seem just to be chatting with each other. So my basic guide when I was making this film was to if I got to a place where it looked like there may be an active fire, was just to turn around straight away, get out of there, because the last thing I'd want to do is be in anybody's way. So now we're coming up the other side of the Akoursos valley, and there's quite a bit of fire damage here. That's the first turning to Lemona, and the hills to the right here are all black now, and same on the left. So this area's been hit badly. I know they evacuated, well, according to the newspaper anyway, they evacuated Choulou, Lemona and Psathi. But when I drove through them all this morning, there were certainly people there again now, so hopefully the majority of the danger has now passed. But you can see the countryside here is pretty grim now. But it will grow back fairly quickly, going on other fires that have been around the areas, like in Giolou especially. There was a bad one there a couple of years ago, and they barely noticed that. Come around the corner. Not sure what this guy in front of us was doing. He seemed to be driving furniture around in him, visiting various places, but not getting any more or dropping anything off. It's fairly weird lighting at the moment as well, because, well, not only because of all the smoke in the sky, but it was fairly early in the morning as well. Now when I came back this way, 20 minutes later, there's a big film crew, and it looked like they were interviewing an important person just up here on the left. And it was me with my little GoPro. They must have got set up pretty quickly because I didn't spend much time here. But here's the other turning to Lemona. We'll be going up there in a tick. I just want to drive through Choulou first. But yes, Choulou itself, the village, looked just as nice as it's always looked. There was no sign of any fire damage in the centre of the village, which is a profound relief. There's another bus. If you haven't been to this part of Paphos, you really should go and have a look. I mean, obviously not right now, but if you're up in holidaying in the summer holidays, and hire a car and go and explore the Paphos countryside, because it's lovely. That's why fires like this are so sad. So much beauty gets burnt. Right, I didn't show you the whole of Choulou, because this film's already going to go on for quite a while. It covers quite a few areas. But this is the other side of it. We'll drive down here for a little bit, and if you remember in the film, earlier on there was quite a few big plumes of smoke coming from this direction. So I wasn't sure how far I would be able to safely drive down here before I start being a nuisance. Unfortunately, this area itself hasn't been hit by the fire either. But fairly soon we'll come across some fire engines, and I will decide that that's enough in this direction. Here they are. Now, whether they were stopping here so that they were easily on hand in case it flared up again, or whether they were just taking a break, I'm not sure. But all I can say to them, I said it in the other film, but thank you so much for all you've done over the last day. You must be worn out. Bunch of heroes. So that was Choulou. Now we're going to go back to Lemona and drive through there. And Lemona seems to have got hit quite badly, at least the landscape around it. Hopefully, because of how fast the fire was moving, the buildings itself remain pretty much unscathed. We're on the other side of Lemona now. I do have, I don't know, it must be about 40 minutes of coverage in total. If people want to see the full film, then just leave a comment. I haven't bothered uploading it all, and I've done a shortened version just because of the time constraints. And it's especially difficult to make a commentary for something like that for 40 minutes. But it looks like, I mean, this little part doesn't look too bad until it actually looks a lot worse when you see it coming from the other direction. But that's just, it's like one side burned rather than the main fields, which is good for the vineyards, because it means their vines weren't damaged. There's a fire engine on the left there. But yes, I mean, the newspapers were saying that there was actually two different fires, but to me it just looks like it was the one fire, and it spread all the way from Polemi, Psathi, and then down past Letymbou. I mean, presumably they had their reasons for saying it was two fires. They may have information I don't know about, but for my untrained eye, it looks just like one big fire. But you see it spread this far. But I think that was pretty much where it petered out for whatever reason. So finally we're going to Psathi. We just passed the Polemi graveyard, and this was the first area to get badly hit. I mean, they don't have much luck with fires here. I remember a few years ago reporting on one, not nearly this extent, but you can see it's just everywhere here. Looks like an atomic bomb's gone off. Going through the village itself now, which fortunately still seems to be pretty much intact. So, if this is your first time of seeing this part of Paphos, don't just take away the fire damage. Just have a look at how beautiful the actual landscape itself is. And bear it in mind when you come here on holidays that there's so much more to Paphos than just the seasides and the archaeological parks. And hopefully the fire won't rear up again. There's still clusters of smokes and obviously little localised fires, but I haven't heard a plane for a little while, whereas this morning there were quite a lot of them. Yesterday there were loads of planes. I say planes, I include helicopters in that term. Oh, what's another thing I haven't mentioned yet? A big shout out to the electricity board. I mean, I know the electricity board get a lot of stick, but this morning I saw loads and loads of electricity board workers repairing and replacing the lamp posts, and they were doing a terrific job. I mean, we were without power for about 6 or 7 hours yesterday, and but when you see how much of a job they must have in getting always up and running again, you just got to take your hats off to them and say, well done. I didn't think I'd be saying that about the electricity board, because they get a lot of stick for various things, but credit where credit is due. So, that was pretty much it in terms of the fire. I drove up to Agios Dimitrianos and that was relatively unscathed. Hopefully by Choulou it'll all be out fairly soon. Ideally we'll have a nice thunderstorm or something and the rain will just put it all out. But whether it happens or not, I don't know. But thanks for watching and take care.